Hey, hey, hey! It's AAA Wednesday, which stands for Ask Alyssa Anything, and this is my weekly Q&A session where I'm answering questions you've left in the comments about the publishing industry and writing a better book. It's my small way of saying thank you to my amazing group of more than 28,000 subscribers. I value each and every one of you so much. I hope you know that. We have some great questions today, but before we dive in, 2 little pieces of housekeeping. I promise I'll keep it short and sweet. Number 1, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button before we get going because it really helps out my channel. And 2, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I promise you won't regret it. In addition to these Q&A sessions, I publish weekly videos with deep dives into the publishing industry or tips on how to strengthen your manuscript, especially if you're working on a novel. Without further ado, let's dive into the first question today. I recently received a rejection on a full manuscript request because of the genre. I've been querying it as gay romance, but the agent said it read as more of an upmarket coming-of-age story. She gave me 2 long paragraphs of praise about the characters, yay, and said my writing was beautiful, but she wasn't sure how to pitch because she only handles romance. I'm struggling with how to label it in queries now. I still feel like at heart it's a love story. Still, she's an industry professional, so I feel like she would know better than me. I don't really know how subcategories work with upmarket. LGBTQ upmarket, gay upmarket fiction, upmarket romance, it's super confusing. Any advice or insight would be seriously appreciated. First, I want to say it's incredibly encouraging that you received this response from the agent. I know that she ultimately didn't extend an offer of representation, which is not the outcome you wanted. However, you got very strong, positive feedback from a professional in the industry, and that's a great sign that you really do have something in this manuscript. So I hope that you are feeling encouraged by it and that you keep going. Now, it's true that subgenres can be incredibly confusing to present in your query letter. In your case, based on my initial read of this situation, it sounds to me like your manuscript just wasn't delivering on certain expectations of a true romance that she was expecting or that she would need for the specific publishing houses that she has relationships with. Romance as a genre has when you package a novel as a romance, readers will expect certain things from it, and it sounds like she thought the book was more in a mainstream fiction realm and not pigeonholed specifically as romance. That is not necessarily a bad thing. Even if your book has romantic elements, has a romantic plotline or a love story at its core, that doesn't mean it has to be classified as romance, particularly if there is a literary element to the story, or if, as this agent noticed, there are coming-of-age elements that really make it a general work of upmarket fiction rather than specifically a romance, which has certain things attached to it, as I mentioned. I would consider tweaking the genre classification you use in your query letter. Perhaps instead of presenting it as a gay romance, you present it as an upmarket gay coming-of-age story or a work of upmarket LGBTQ contemporary fiction. Both of those different phrasings would be completely acceptable in a query letter. And that also means you can move away from just targeting agents who specialize in romance to anyone with an interest in coming-of-age, upmarket contemporary fiction, and/or LGBTQ stories. I really hope that you get more full requests and eventually an offer of representation, so keep us posted, and I'm crossing my fingers for you. Before we talk about the next question today, I wanted to let you know about a free resource I created for my YouTube community. The link is in the description below to download my free story self-assessment worksheet. If you're stuck with your current draft, this could be a way to reinvigorate your enthusiasm for your book and help you see what you can do to take it to the next level. Downloading that is also going to sign you up for my exclusive newsletter, where I publish interviews with publishing industry insiders and successfully published authors, so you don't want to miss out on the amazing tips they're giving. If you want to go straight to the newsletter, the link is also in the description. Here's another question. Hi, Alyssa. I was wondering if you have any advice regarding how to succeed with securing a position at a publishing house. For example, do you know what they're looking for on resumes and cover letters? I've applied to PRH at least over 20 to 30 times for editorial/publishing assistant and internship positions, but I receive rejection emails every time. I have a BA in English, a creative writing certificate, and about 4 years of work experience in retail/customer service. I understand that it's a competitive field with limited openings, but I'm not sure where or how to gain the necessary related experience that they're looking for. It confuses me that apparently my qualifications aren't even enough for an internship. I've also tried reaching out to recruiters on LinkedIn who connected back with me, but my messages went unanswered. What can I do to break into the editorial part of the industry? Just as it's highly competitive to get your book published by a Big 5 publishing house as an author, it is very competitive to get a position working at a Big 5 publishing house, specifically in the editorial side of the industry, which is the most desired typically and the most competitive. Because these positions are quite limited and highly competitive, it's likely that the recruiters are going to look for some type of editorial experience in addition to your degrees and certifications. Now, if you are lacking some of the experience needed to get one of these positions, one kind of fast track to improve your chances of breaking into the publishing industry is to go through one of the publishing programs. I know that NYU has a summer publishing institute and Columbia has a similar publishing institute. They may also be able to be taken online now, and those programs connect you with professionals that work in the industry and offer a lot of networking opportunities and help you bolster your resume so that you will stand out when you are applying for those positions. When I was in the industry, I did know several people who went through those courses and successfully ended up with publishing house jobs. Personally, the way that I did it is I worked to have as much editorial experience as I could when I was in school. I worked at the school newspaper, I ran my literary journal at my college, and then I took courses in book publishing that allowed me to connect with editors at publishing houses, and eventually I got an internship and then another internship that led to my full-time position at Penguin Random House. So it can be tough, but there are definitely ways to break in. We have time for one more question today. How do I find a good dev editor for the genre I'm in? In my case, that's sci-fi and fantasy. 2 places that I recommend looking for developmental book editors, no matter what genre you're in, are Reedsy. This is essentially an online marketplace for authors to connect with book editors, cover designers, marketers, etc. And specifically, many of the editors that they recruit have experience in the traditional publishing industry. They have a pretty rigorous process of vetting professionals before allowing them to make a profile. I, for example, am on Reedsy and had to go through that process. So it is a helpful way to ensure you are working with a legitimate editor. All of their industry credentials will be on their profile, as well as reviews and the previous books that they worked on. When you do a search on Reedsy, it's really easy to put in the genre so that you make sure you're only surfacing editors who work in that genre. And you can specify you're looking for developmental editing. Another place to look would be the Editorial Freelancers Association directory. This is a professional membership for book editors, and they had a similar directory of editors who are offering their services, and they typically will include the genres that they're interested in. You can also then likely find the editor's direct website and review all their information there. Thanks so much to everyone who submitted a question today, and if you have something you'd like me to answer, drop it in the comments here and it will be added to my queue. Before you head out, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button to help out my channel, hit that subscribe button to join this amazing community, and don't forget your free story self-assessment worksheet and my newsletter link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching and happy writing.